next segment. We're going to jump in here, and our next segment we call Picks and Pans. So Tony, I'm going to put the, you can't buy Burlington Northern, but you can buy Union Pacific, and Buffett said, well, he sold Union Pacific so he could buy Burlington Northern. Are you a buyer of Union Pacific?
I think so. I think that
I know you don't like to do individual recommendations.
I think both. I think what you see in both stocks and both firms is long-term confidence and growth in America's industrial capabilities. We expect both those railroads to service that industrial complex.
Okay. What other sectors or places are you putting money?
You know, I've said energy.
Energy, still energy?
I think technology.
Okay, you're on to technology.
I think that small innovative startups is where most of the growth is in the coming years.
So buy some of those. Roger, where are you on picks and pans? What are you picking and what are you panning?
Either as an investor or somebody who works in in this world, I have two areas. One, and I think they complement what you just said. Definitely energy. We have two large energy companies as clients, and I'm watching them move into wind. I'm walking them into alternative energy, making some big bets. Not as big as they made when energy trading was hot, but smart things. And the other thing is definitely technology. I spend a bit of time in Silicon Valley, and Tony and I are together involved here in Omaha with the Halo Institute, where we're working with young entrepreneurs. And I think this is a great time for someone with a dream with a deadline, because you can
also providing the funds though for the investors out there, and we're trying to give them a little heads up on where they need to be putting their money. So looking for some of these opportunities in technology.
And in some cases you can get in without spending a lot. And but you don't have to be on Sand Hill Road and deal with the major investors to do that. You can choose your shots. And we're at Halo, we're looking at consumer products, we're looking at healthcare, we're looking at alternatives to an awful energy. So there's some exciting stuff out there which doesn't require a lot of investment. It just requires, sort of, as we used to say, the wisdom of Solomon in the stomach of a goat, because you do have to sort of step in and be gutsy.
Well, I've got the goat stomach.
Well, so and Tony has the wisdom. So between the two of you, between the two of you, we're going to be great.
Well, you know what? I've been somewhat bullish, semi-bullish. I'm getting bearish on is pharmaceuticals. I know lots of folks got buys in out there saying buy because there's going to be a lot of sales because of the new health care reform bill. I say, perhaps in the short term, perhaps in the intermediate short term, or short term intermediate, whatever you want to call it, I say no, because I say we're going to have wage and price controls. I am concerned about anything to do with health care, wage and price controls. If you got money in there, I think you can make some money right now, but don't stay too long. That'd be my suggestion. I do think, as you're saying, technology, Cisco, I own Cisco, I own Pfizer, for example. I'm going to keep Pfizer for a bit longer, but any upside, I'm going to be selling Pfizer.
Are there factors that you consider that are restraining growth right now in our economy, Ernie?
Oh yeah, I think, for example, we've got problems in Europe, anything to do with Europe. We've got some issues related to the farm sector, still continuing, rural areas, rural manufacturing. So when I translate that into my portfolio, what that means is I'm betting international, but international connected to Asia, international connected to South America, but not international connected to Europe. For example, Gillette is a Europe, does a lot of business in Europe. Coca-Cola is, of course, globally. I own Coca-Cola. I'm going to continue to own Coca-Cola and get those dividends. I like the stock.
So one of our clients, who shall remain nameless, is a very large global apparel maker. And to watch where their growth is happening is dramatic. It's happening in South America, it's happening in Central America, to your point, certainly in Asia, less in Europe and less in the U.S. So they're having to recast their whole business model to move people into those territories or create partnerships, because that's where their business is growing.
Yeah, and what I'm doing is either buying a company that, a U.S. listed company in the S&P or the Dow, that does business there, that's one way of doing it, or buying something like a Vanguard International Growth. Now again, I'm not recommending anything I don't own, so I do own these stocks. Again, I'm going to probably bail out on pharmaceuticals soon, though. I own J&J as well. I may keep J&J a bit longer, Johnson & Johnson, longer than I keep Pfizer, but I'm a little concerned about anything to do with healthcare. Healthcare.
Interesting. Well,
I mean, you say interesting as if you disagree. I do believe I hear a disagreement there.
by gosh, Ernie, I think you're completely wrong.
Yeah.
I think we haven't seen the fallout yet of this new healthcare, quote, reform. I think you're right about the potential for price controls, but I think we see a deeper systemic change, and that is in the whole way healthcare gets delivered at the ground level.
So are you long on some of the healthcare?
Yeah.
So maybe an Aetna. I'm not nailing you down to Aetna.
Well,
but
I
some
own
of the-
funds in healthcare.
Okay.
and
So you'd go the fund route, buying a.
That's
fund
what I do
connected to
anyway.
healthcare. I'd stay away, but that's me. I mean, Tony,
I think
you're the arbitrator.
I kind of agree in the long. I mean, let's face it. In the long term, the demand for health care is not going to go away. It's going to continue to grow.
But you got the government saying you cannot charge these prices for insurance, for this or that. I just see it, right, at least the next 4 years, 3 years.
I still think that the demand will push the supply.
Okay. Well, okay.